As a professional speaker and inspirator, I was so moved and touched by this gentleman's story. I wanted to share it with everybody. Every parent who has a child or teenage children, this is their biggest fear, and these parents of this young man should be so proud.
In this new town square, you don't have to apologize for your beliefs or cower to a mob. You can kneel before God, but stand for our flag. The American idea my ancestors fought for during the Revolutionary War is just as exciting and revolutionary today as it was 250 years ago. I say to Americans who love our country, young and old, be a radical for freedom. Be a radical for liberty. And be a radical for our republic, for which I stand, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and may God bless America.
That was easily one of the most talked about events of the Republican National Convention. Madison Cawthorn, he's running for North Carolina congressional, a seat that was once held by Mark Meadows, who's moved on to become the president's chief of staff. He joins us right now. Madison, very good to have you. Did the party know you were planning that where you were going to try to stand after your remarks? Were they okay with all of that?
You know what? They did not know that till the day of. We actually had a podium set up in front of us, but we requested that be moved out, and then we pulled it off, and I think it came out very well. You know, it's a very difficult thing for me to stand at this point in my therapy, but it was worth it for that moment. I really just wanted to show America that you can overcome any obstacle, and that we are a patriotic people who stand up and are not going to cower to a mob.
No, I got worried. I didn't know this was happening. We were covering it, and when these two guys came out, it was like a scary moment. Are they removing him, or what's going on? So I'm glad that it worked out. Could you tell me again a little bit about how you did become paralyzed?
Yes, so I was 18 years old. I had just gotten a full-ride scholarship at NC State for a NRTC scholarship. I was awaiting acceptance to the Naval Academy. My whole life was ahead of me. Really, everything was going great in my life. And then I stepped into a car to go over the drive for one of my best friends, but I did not know that would be the last step I ever took. I was taking a nap in the passenger seat, and my friend, for whatever reason, thought it'd be better as a group activity. And so he fell asleep behind the wheel. We ran into a concrete barricade. It was next thing I saw were the lights in the hospital.
And you're paralyzed for life.
Paralyzed for life, yes. It was. It's something that just, you don't even have the chance to fight back. And obviously, going through something like that, Neil, as I'm sure you can imagine, it teaches you perseverance or grit, overcoming things. But it really did teach me, and it's something I touched on in my RNC speech, but it really taught me empathy. It taught me what it's like to go through life without everything being perfect and everything not going your way. So I've now gotten to a point in my life where I want to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes before I try and make a judgment on them or try and make a decision for them.
When you were running in the Republican primary, which you won handily, you were not the president's choice. I understand he will be supporting you now as the nominee, but do you know whether he's going to campaign in your district? Do you know what his role will be? Do you welcome it?
Oh, I do welcome it. Yeah, he actually made an appearance in my district on Monday. It was great. We were supporting our local farmers, and one of the biggest agriculture guys in my area, Kirby Johnson, an incredible man. He's done this incredible thing. It's called Farmers to Families, where they're taking these nutritious fruits and vegetables that were not being sold because of the coronavirus, and it was just giving them directly to families who needed it. And so that was just an incredible thing. And so President Trump came down to celebrate that in my district, and we really rallied our agricultural groups down there.
With your notoriety and attention you're getting, you would be the youngest U.S. congressman in American history if you got there. Comes more scrutiny, and others are saying that there's critics who argue that there are a lot of white nationalists who are pushing your campaign, and a lot of white supremacy language that's come up. I don't know whether directly attached to your campaign, and it's come up again and again. What is that all about?
Well, one, I think it's just the natural democratic playbook where if you are a white person in America, you're a Nazi until proven otherwise, which I think is absolutely abysmal, and it's terrible for where our political structure is right now. But I've been accused of being a white nationalist. I've been accused of being a Nazi. I mean, this is just their typical attacks that come normally. But you know what? I think we all stand against racism, especially in my generation. I think we're probably the least racist generation that's probably ever been around. And so, you know what? I denounce any kind of racism or any kind of bigotry or any kind of Nazism because it's pathetic. Well, you want some white ethno state that doesn't make any sense. If the world is going to last for another 2,000, 4,000 years, we'll all probably be somewhere in the middle. We'll all be brown, like my fiance. I'm very disappointed that we're all going to be attacked, act like I'm some kind of white nationalist, because that's very, very sad. I was raised in a world where you're supposed to treat everyone with honor, dignity, and respect. And I think that's what the Republican Party is. We're the big tent party. We don't classify people by race or by gender or by ability. We just all welcome people of all walks of life equally. And that's why I'm a Republican.
All right, so when others are saying as well that there's some issues that have come up, in the past, sexual misconduct charged by a number of victims, I believe most have been anonymous. I don't know much more about this and how far back this goes, but do you want to address any of that right now?
What in the heck, Neil?
Yeah, you know what, some allegations of sexual misconduct did come up about one of my first dates after my accident when I was 19. It was from a girl that I know and respect. And I believe her memory of those situations is just different than mine. I think we've all, tried to kiss a girl before and they've said no, but I've never tried to forcefully make that happen. So I was very saddened to hear that. And if I did ever make anyone feel uncomfortable, that's very regrettable and something I'm very sad to hear. But you know what? We're moving forward in life right now. And it would be very sad if we were to find out that this was just politically motivated, somebody trying to keep a gavel in Nancy Pelosi's hands and trying to ruin somebody's good name.
Did these allegations then come up post your announcing your run for this congressional seat?
I'm sorry, Neil, could you repeat that one time?
Sure, I'm sorry. Did these allegations just come up in your run for this congressional seat? In other words, had they been out there before?
No, they've never been out there before. They just came up only when politics got involved.
Of course they did.
Madison will follow it very, very closely. Madison Cawthorn, he was a head turner at that convention. Like I said, I was caught off guard by that. I didn't know what was going on. It was like a Men in Black moment here.
No, it was
okay.
beautiful,
It's
inspiring.
still talking about